Welcome to TLC tutorial videos. In this Windows Skills review video, we will discuss the Windows Commands demo, which is part 3 of our presentation.
In this session, I will demo whatever I discussed in the part 1 and part 2 videos. Okay. So the first thing is I want to show you like how you can get the help in Windows. So the first thing is you type the letter help. That will show you all the high level commands available in your Windows. So it starts with association, you know what is CD, that's for changing the directory. And also it will show you the current directory, and then change directory, you can exclusively use CHDR, and then CLS is clearing the screen, all right? And then we use pretty regularly dir, and then the del command, and so on and so forth. Suppose I want to know more detail about a specific command. I can say help and then say, for example, dir. So when you say dir, um, so it shows me the directory command, the command name, and then there are a lot of options here, share. I say why there are options, because anything comes in square parentheses, I mean square brackets, are all options. So using these options, you can get a very specific output format for your directory command. For example, I want to show me the list of files in the sorted order. I can use these options. Or if I want to show me the most recently created files, I can use this option, so on and so forth. Okay. So during your exam, you are free to use these two commands to know more details. Okay. So make use of this opportunity. The second thing is I showed you a directory structure during the first part of this video. So that's the same directory structure I'm going to use for our demo. So let's go ahead and create a directory called demo. Okay. So here I created a directory called demo. Under directory demo, I want to create a new directory called WakeTech. Okay. Now let me go to demo and then see tree. So I have a C dot means in my current directory, I have a directory called WakeTech. So how do I know that? I can see directory that shows WakeTech. So you also see some important informations here. One is dot. This dot represents the current directory, and this double dot represents the parent directory. Okay, I'll come into that pretty soon. So, so I created WakeTech directory. So again, I'm going to create a few more directory in WakeTech. So for example, I want to create courses. Under courses, I want to create a directory called programming. And also I want to create a directory called system. Okay. Let's see how so far we created. Here, I'm using the tree command to show all my directories under demo. And also I'm saying dot, show me the current path. So it clearly says that this is my current path. Like it starts from my root drive C, and then it goes to my users, and then it goes to um, my actual home directory. This is my username. Under username, I have a demo directory. All right. So, so let's go ahead and create some more directories under programming. So in programming, I want to create a directory called C++. I want to create a directory called Python. And then I want to create a directory called Java. And then I have a directory called database, something like database programming. Okay. So I have four directories in programming. And then I'm going to create something under system. Okay. In system, I'm going to create a course called Mass 110. And then I'm going to create a course called CTA 110. Okay. So far, so good, I guess. So let's see again how our directory structure looks like. Excellent. So, so I have a directory structure demo. Under demo, I have vector courses programming. Um, Everything is created again. Okay. So, all right. Let's go ahead and create some more directories. Like let's say so cd vector directory. Okay, I don't have anything in this vector, so I'm going to do what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this directory vector. So I can say vector, it's removed. So when you are removing the directory, if the directory has contents, you cannot just remove by just say RD directory. Okay, so let's go and see how to remove a directory. Okay, if you say help RD, see it says RD or RIMDR, both are fine. Okay, so when you are doing remove directory, if you use minus S options, it is used to remove all the directories under the same directory and all the files. So if you have some files or directories under a particular directory, you cannot directly remove just like that. Okay, that's the safety provided by your directory structure. All right, so the one thing we want to know is, suppose I want to create a directory with, say for example, a directory name with the space, say weird name, something like this. Okay. So this is going to create some really bad effect here. Let me show you. So if I do this, okay, if you go and see the directory, see it created a new directory called name, just created in few seconds back. Okay. And also it created a directory, if you go and see the tree, right? It also created a weird under CTA 110. Okay. So I spelled wrongly. Anyway, it's a weird directory. So this is not the way I should create a directory with the space. Okay. First, let's go and create the name directory, which is not we want. And also let's go ahead and create um, the directory vector, courses, system, and then under CTI 110, right? I want to remove the weird directory. All right. So I removed it. Let's go and see. Everything looks good. So how can I create a directory with the weird name? Suppose I want to create a directory with the weird name, like with the space. I should say, oh my God, bad name. Okay, bad name. Okay, so now I can give within quotes. If I give within quotes, this will create, um, oh, sorry, I'm trying to remove it. My God. So I want to create a directory. So I'll say this If you go here now, you see that under system, I created a directory with the name which has space. So even if you want to create a name with the space in files or directory, this is how you do it. Okay. Now, so far, we have seen creating directories. So let me, so I already explained in my previous video, we can use relative path and absolute path while working in the file system. So the relative path is with reference to the current directory where you are working. The absolute path, the reference always starts from your root drive, in this case, which is the C colon, right? C drive is our root drive. So I'm going to create a new file called my file, and I'm going to create this file in my C++ programming file. So how do I going to create that? So say for example, hash include the IO stream dot h, something like that. This is the file I want to create. Now I want to create this file in C++ drive. How do I do that? I say redirection and then C colon, okay? And then users, and then I use my name under demo. There's another demo is created in accident way, that's okay. And then I have a courses. Under courses, I want to go to my programming, and then I want to go to C++, and this is my hello.cpp. That's my file, okay? Voila, it's created. The new CPP file. So if I go and tree.f, sorry, dot, okay, it shows everything, but it is not showing my new file I just created. So for that, we need to use the option F. When I use the new option, like show me the files also inside my directory, then it's go ahead and create a file hello.cpp. So the other way to create a file is Notepad. I'm not going to demo that. You already know how to do that. So that's one way of doing it. All right. So let's see. Suppose like I want to see what's the content in my file. Like how do I show the content in my file? What kind of command? So let's go and see the help command. So there is a kind of command called type. Okay. This type command, look at that, displays the content of a text file. Okay. And one more command called more. More is also displays output one screen at a time. It's more like if I have, say for example, this help is moving fast, right? So if I say help more, it's basically I can move this thing like page by page or something like that. Okay. So this is an interesting command. Using this, you can also display the command. Say, for example, so in this case, I'm going to use my relative path to show the content of my hello.cpp. So I'm going to say more. Okay. So demo programming, web tech courses, um, programming, C++, excuse me, C++, and then I'm feeling a little sick, so I apologize for that. And then hello. Um, wow. See that it shows me my file content. So the other way to do that is, so if you use type command, that'll also show you the content of the file. This is how you can show you the content of the file. Okay, let's go to this most important command called cd, which is, if you just say cd, okay, it will show you the complete path, the absolute path of the current directory where you are working. Okay, so if you say cd dot, it's going nowhere. That means it is just, I'm asking change to my current directory itself. That's why there is no effect here. Suppose if I say cd dot dot, that goes to my parent directory. Suppose if I say cd colon, I mean cd slash, that will take me to my root directory. Okay. So, so suppose I want to go to my systems directory. How do I go? I want to use my absolute path. So C colon and then users and S sambas and then demo. Under demo, I have another accident demo, and then I have VicTech, and then I have systems. Uh, I don't have a system. First, I have to go to courses. Under courses, I have a system. This is how I want to go to CD. Okay. Under CD, I have three directories called CTA 110, NAS 110, and things like that. Okay. So now I demoed you how to do CD command. Okay. Now let's use the directory command, right? I already start using it, if you can say. So if I want to see my directory, I'll use directory, right? And if I want to show me in a sorted form, I can use, oh, see that it gives me an alphabetical sorted order like bad name, CTI, and things like that. And then um, if I want to show me directory slash n, which is another options, right? It shows again the same names, but it's more like in a new link. It's a link long format. It is okay. So that's what it is. So um, all right, directory is a pretty easy command. Now let's work on the copy command. Okay. So now if I want to copy a directory from, I mean, if I want to copy a file from my C++ directory into my CTA 110. Okay. How do I do that? Let me use the relative path. In this case, the command is copy command. And then we have to give the source. Source means where is the file I need to copy is currently located. I know it is in the programming. And see, system and programming are parallel structures. I told you they are like siblings. So we need to first go to the common parent to reach C++. So in this case, I need to go to courses. From courses, I need to go to the double dot will take me to the parent drive courses. From pair courses, now I need to go to programming. Under programming, I need to go to C++, uh, C++, and then um, I need to copy the CPP file, right? Let me see. There is something wrong here. Um, Let me check one more time here. So cd dot dot. So I'm in VecTech. So tree um, programming and then tree hello.cpp. So let me go to that directory and see what's going on there. It looks some weird behavior. Let me see that. This is also part of your C++. Okay, now I go here, hello.cpp. So that's fine. So I don't know why it is giving me some issues when I'm using shortcut. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to create a new file here. This is my demo, okay? And create this file in my text.txt, okay? txt file, okay? I created two new files here. So now let me go back to systems. So that'll be more interesting. So system. Now I want to copy this my text and my text file, for example. Okay. Copy. Now I need to go to courses. Where I went there. Now programming, C++. Um, I don't want this code. So that's one trouble. And then I want to okay, it is showing me the system. Um, I think it's getting system as my okay, there is a small problem here. That's okay. I'm going to use my text.txt file, and I want to copy it to my CTI 110. Okay, 110 directory. The system cannot find the file. Okay, why? So programming. Somehow it is going to a different uh, directory. This is a weird behavior. Okay, all right. So cd dot dot cd um, programming C++. Yeah, it is having some weird in my system. That's not the regular thing. Okay, so I'm going to copy hello.cpp. This is my current drive. Okay, I want to copy this file into, say, in CTA 110. So how do I do? First, I need to go to programming directory. Then I need to go to courses directory. Then I need to go to system directory. Then I need to go to CTA1 directory. Okay, so I'm copying the file it's in my current directory into CTA1 directory. Okay, one file is copied. Voila. There is some issues in my C++ directory, which I don't want to show, like, I don't want to bug your session here. So this is how your copy works, okay? So now I used a relative path to copy this. So let me use an absolute path, okay? So I'm going to use copy. So although it's in my current directory, I'm going to say C absolute path uses S samba and then demo, wait tech, and then I'm going to say programming, right? It's not there because I have to go to courses. And then programming directory. Under programming directory, I need to go to C++. And then this is always weird, guys. This is really weird. Somehow it's not finding my files in my C++ directory. That's so weird. Okay, I'm not going to troubleshoot that now in front of you guys. Okay, let's go to courses and I'm going to go to the system and I'm going to see whether it's the same problem here. CTI. Okay, here at least there is no problem here. So I use this absolute path and then I'm going to copy this into my WakeTech directory. Okay. So how do I go to my WakeTech directory? Dot dot and then dot dot. Dot dot will take me to the programming. Now I am in courses, right? So if I do one more dot dot, now it'll be copied. So let's go and see tree dot f. Uh, okay, so we are in pretty bottom of the tree. Let's go to demo. Okay, cd dot dot cd dot dot. I'm in demo. Let's go and see our whether those things are all file copied. Um, oh, we have to give a space. All right. So now you can see I copied allo.cpp using my relative path. All right. And then also I copied allo.cpp in my um, system path. Okay. So copy or any command in Windows, like I mentioned in my previous video, you need to know the concept of how to form the path. Once you know how to create relative path or absolute path, then it's very easy for you to execute your command. Copy means you have to create the source file path and your destination path. If you want to cd to a particular directory, again, you can use one of the path, like absolute path or relative path, so on and so forth. Like all the commands or rely on your file system path. Okay, let's see what are all the commands I can demo. So suppose I want to remove some files. Say, for example, I mistakenly copied allo.cpp in my WakeTech. So I can say del WakeTech allo.cpp. Now it's deleted. So if you go and see la la, um, in WakeTech, we don't have. So here, there is no allo.cpp. All right. So to remove the files, you use the command del. If you want to remove the directories, you want to use, um, say, for example, if you want to remove a directory contains another directory and other things like that, then you have to use something called rmidr, all right, or rd. So help rm. So that shows how to remove directories. Okay, help del. That just deletes the files. You can see the remove. Um, this is dir, right? Deletes one or more files. Okay. So how do we use one or more files is using a special character called asterisk. So whenever asterisk is this symbol. So when you are using this, it will remove everything. That means it's a wild card character. Anything you want to do it in a bulk, you say, hey, this command applicables to all the things which are under this directory or in all the subdirectories, so on and so forth. So when you are using an asterisk, you have to be more careful. Okay, the next thing we want to know is how do I rename the files? So let me go ahead and create a new file called hello.python. Okay, so I'm going to use an absolute path here. I'm saying uh, this is Python demo. Okay, and then I'm going to say C colon uh, uses SMBus and then demo. a demo, tech, um, courses. You know how I'm getting all this quickly done is through my tab key, which is I explained in my previous video. Okay, that's a shortcut for it's autocomplete. Okay, and then I'm going to programming under Python. I'm going to say this is this file. I'm going to say hello, and I'm going to make a mistake here. Okay, this is purposeful. By I put instead of O, I put 0. Okay, now it's created a file. Okay, now if we go and see that, um, every time I'm making the same mistakes, guys. Sorry about that. So if you go here, this is the wrong file name. Okay, how do I rename this file? Pretty easy. So you can say rename, or you can ask help like rename. So is rename the files, right? You have to give the path for the file, and then you give the name you want to change it. Okay. So both of them, you see that these things are not optional, but the drive path, everything is optional. So I'm going to use the relative path here. So rename VecTech, courses, programming, and and Python, and hello.python. I want to change this thing into hello.python. Okay. Now I renamed it. Let's see that tree.f. See how handy the tree thing is. Now it's replaced. Okay. That's how you do the rename, guys. So easy. All right. So the other thing is there is a command called uh, move. Okay. Move is the command which can be used for moving the files, moving the directories. Along with that, you can also change the name. Okay. So move command is kind of a super command of rename. Okay. So the rename just changes the file name. Move can change the location of the file or directory, and also you can change the name. Like here it is. You want to rename the file when you want, when you move it, you can also do that. Okay. So this is very handy. So when you're moving the files, you can also rename. So you can use move or rename, which both can change your name. All right. So now let's see. I already showed a lot of tree commands. I'm not going to um, demo that again. So CLS will clear the screen. And then I already discussed about when you use up arrows or down arrows, you can use the current commands you are currently using in your session. Okay. And the last command, which we are going to discuss here, is something very interesting called Xcopy. So Xcopy is an extended copy. Okay. Look at that. It has so many options. Okay. So it is really um, kind of weird, and it is very powerful command. So if I want to copy not only my files, my entire directory structure, then I can use the extended copy. Okay. Suppose I want to copy uh, my entire programming directory, and then I want to place it in my demo. Okay. So I can say xcopy, tag, and courses. Okay. This will copy my entire programming directory, and then I want to place it in demo. This is not going to work. I'm just saying that. I'll tell you why it's not going to work. See, it says 0 files copied. So the reason is some of the directories in my pro, the directory structure are empty. So if I want to copy the empty directories, like subdirectories, and also I want to include all the empty ones, I have to say E option. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and then I'm going to say E. See that? It copied everything now. So if you go here, my directory structure, it copied my entire programming subdirectories. Okay, so I can show you now. Tree.f. Okay, see that? It copied all my programming content into my demo so that I can share it with someone else. Okay, this is an extended copy. So far, I discussed all the commands. There are a few other commands. You can also use it, but I believe this should be sufficient. The last thing I want to demo here is I discussed about bash script. Okay, so I'm going to create a new file called a new batch script. So when I want to create a batch script, I normally use a text editor. Okay, in this case, I'm going to use my Notepad++. So I'm going to create a new file. So when I want to comment my bash script, I should say rem. Rem will create a comment. So I'm going to say, this is my batch demo. Okay. And then I'm going to say, these are all I already discussed in my previous video. I'm going to write a bunch of commands which are going to carry out a specific task. Here I'm saying switch off my echo, okay? And then create a directory called my directory, okay? And then uh, under my directory, create my subdirectory, okay? Um, After that, you tree that uh, the entire thing. I'm going to say dot here for fun, okay? And then I'm going to say, these are just demo, okay? I'm going to say echo, now you can see my directory structure, okay? And then I'm going to show my current directory content, okay? Just a very silly demo. So this is, I'm going to save in my, not in my Python teaching, okay? Let's go to my Windows C, uh, users, directory, and then demo. Under demo, I'm going to say this. So there is a batch file. Do you see, guys? Batch, and say uh, bat demo. Okay. So this is the file I created for my batch. See, it shows me some formatted output. Okay. So let's go to our command prompt. So let's see. Yeah, there is a bat demo. So if I want to run my batch demo, so I say bat demo execute. Okay, it showed me all my thing. You see that it created my directory and it created my subdirectory. And also it says, now you can see my directory structure and the cd command shows me the current path. I guess this should give you sufficient background to do value your Windows commands, guys. If you have any questions or any doubt or anything you want to discuss, I'm always available in the North Campus during Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. make an appointment, and we can discuss further. Thank you, guys. And my name is Shakti Sambasivam. I do this for Wake Tech North Campus, this demo video.